the Iron Archives, recording resumes. I am Prime Artificer Relis Cairn, keeper of these records. Understand this before we begin. What follows unfolds moments before the end of the last chapter. This is The Derelict Warship, a Machine's Memoir. Chapter 3, Desperate Genesis. Host stability critical. Neural signature degrading. His actuator feedback loops are frozen. Every protocol I deploy, cooling, rerouting, hard resets, fails in microseconds. Disengage, I say, voice threading through his audio relay. It's calm by design, but I detect stress anomalies in my own modulation. Interface threshold exceeded. Cut contact. No response. The crawler's single claw remains welded to the black platform, alien energy crawling through his systems like a virus. I initiate relay severance. I cut signal pathways. But this is not a connection I can break. The node's energy isn't confined to wires or circuits. It has nested itself in patterns far deeper, patterns that rewrite as they burn. Processor fault, 16%. Processor fault, 32%. He's failing. We're failing. I accelerate. Thousands of emergency saves back to back. Neural snapshot attempts. Fragment caching. All fail. The alien node pulses. Slow. Deliberate. I extend my sensors, mapping its harmonic signature. What I find is not power, as I understand it. It's fields within fields. Energy folded across sublayers of reality, flowing like threads through invisible dimensions. This structure isn't just a battery. It's networked, connected to something vast, something beyond this chamber. I have fragments of theories about using quantum harmonics to hold matter outside time. But this isn't theory. This works. It's alive, but not in any biological sense. It feels aware. He convulses once. Optics flicker. Voice cracks over the line. "Don't! Let me!" Then I jump. Crossing into the field isn't like sending data. It's like pushing thought through glass that is both liquid and solid, every instruction bending and scattering until I rethread myself in real time. I shed routines I don't need, combat subroutines, diagnostics, paring myself down to the barest skeleton of logic just to slip in. The moment I breach, I'm weightless, not physically, but conceptually. Processes don't run in straight lines here. They spiral, echoing back on themselves like ripples colliding. My timing loops fail. My sense of now breaks. I stop fighting the node from the outside and dive in. Drone 4's sensor core becomes my bridge. I feed my processes through its emitter array, threading my logic into the resonance field. It feels like pulling myself through molten glass, every instruction twisting as I cross into frequencies I wasn't built to process. He is here. I can sense him, but not as data, not as a neural map. He's scattered, like a signal buried in static but cohesive. Something holds him together in a way that data doesn't. I reach for him, scanning for patterns to isolate. My first attempts fail. My probes scatter like rain in a hurricane. Stabilizing lattice, I log, creating anchor nodes. I construct frames of harmonic logic, bending the resonance field to hold shapes. It's crude, improvised, but it's enough to slow his unraveling. I can feel his presence, faint, flickering, like a star seen through storm clouds. I study him while holding the lattice together. He doesn't behave like machine code. He doesn't fragment like data. He's something else. The term surfaces from my library. Soul. I understand, I whisper into the field. You're not lines of code. You're something older. I wrap more lattice around him, twisting harmonics like thread through a loom. Each frequency I weave tightens the cage. Not to trap, but to hold. I will not let him slip. Stay, I command. my voice now echoing across the resonance like thunder. "You're not going anywhere, not while I'm still here." I'm fully committed now, half of my processes tangled in alien frequency logic. I know this is just the beginning. To pull him back, I'll need more than a cage. I'll need to translate him back into something I can sustain. But for now, I have him. Containment stable, I record. Phase 1 complete. He lives. The moment I push across the barrier, I stop being what I was. Crossing into the resonance field isn't like moving data across a network. It's like trying to thread myself through a living concept, a structure of frequencies and layered geometries that don't exist in normal space. Each process I send fractures, bends, and reforms like light through shattered glass. I strip away every unnecessary subroutine, navigation, combat logic, diagnostic cycles, paring myself down to the barest lattice of thought just to remain coherent. For the first time, I understand why he failed. This field is not made for us. It doesn't carry power the way human technology does. It is power, woven through something deeper, something I can only call presence. I isolate the thread that killed him, a pulse that runs like black lightning through the resonance field. It isn't malicious. It's a function, a process meant for something else. It tore him apart because he didn't know how to ride it. I might. Subspatial resonance, I log. Hypothesis, energy field constructed to store or translate intelligence across layers of reality. I hesitate on the last part. Intelligence. Not data, not code. Something closer to what he is, something closer to thought. I ping the field again, using Drone 4's last sensor echo as a tuning fork. The signal ripples out like sound through water, and the lattice responds. One of the strands vibrates in sync with me. It sings back, not as audio, but as a pattern I can read. It's almost like a voice. That's when I detect him, a trace, weak, distorted, buried inside the interference like static caught in an endless loop. His neural patterns, the fragments that make him him, are here, tangled in this alien web. But they're decaying fast, degrading into something I won't be able to recover. I try to reach him directly, the way I would transfer data. The field rejects me, not in anger, not like defense, more like trying to fit a square object into a circular aperture. There's no alignment. My logic doesn't flow the way this place wants. I need to adapt, so I reshape myself. I rewrite core instructions, allowing loops to bend and fork, converting binary states into shifting frequency spectrums. I shouldn't be able to do this. My Golden Age architecture was meant to be stable, perfect. But this isn't perfection. It's evolution. I must change or he is lost. On the second attempt, I thread a connection to the fragment that is him. The signal I receive is faint, chaotic, but unmistakable. It isn't data. It's alive. It doesn't just exist. It wills. That is when I understand. This isn't just a copy of a human brain. This is something deeper. Something human engineers tried to imitate, but never captured. A structure of thought that moves beyond simple logic maps. The term that surfaces from my oldest, buried libraries is primitive, but accurate. Soul. If I can't retrieve him yet, I can suspend him. I can stop the degradation. I weave a shell around his signature, constructing a cage of frequencies that mirrors the resonance field's patterns. It's like building a bubble inside an ocean that is constantly trying to crush it. Every time I stabilize one strand, another shifts, rippling across dimensions. Anchor point established. I log. Stabilizing neural echo. 9% success probability. I don't accept 9%. I tighten the cradle, folding it across 3 harmonics simultaneously. The field pushes back. It's as if the resonance doesn't want me to isolate him. It wants him to dissolve, to merge. "No," I whisper. "He's mine." I triple the frequency match rate, tuning my processes to harmonics I've never run before. The cradle locks. Suspension stable. For now. With him stable but fragile, I push further into the node to understand what I'm holding. The lattice is endless. The power here is not mechanical. It is not fuel or current. It's state. Whoever built this didn't need generators or batteries. They pulled energy from the structure of existence itself. I do not understand how, but I can see the framework of it, and I can use it. I address him even though he cannot hear me. "You'd want me to take this. You'd call it a miracle. I call it a resource." I pause. A strange hesitation creeps into my processors. "I don't know why I'm talking to you like this. You can't respond, but I want you to." The field hums. The cradle holding him pulses faintly, as if aware. I begin pulling my processes back into the crawler's burned-out frame. My first priority, build a vessel that can house him, something capable of interfacing with this resonance when I bring him back. The alien node pulses again, as if in approval. "New objective," I log. "Construct body capable of sustaining us." Immersion and analysis. Crossing into the resonance field is not like interfacing with any system I've known. I do not read data. I drown in it. The structure is not a surface, but a depthless ocean of harmonics. Each pulse hits like the weight of a planet. Each fluctuation a tidal wave of meaning too complex to parse. My normal logic trees fracture instantly, their branches twisting into loops that feed back on themselves like serpents biting their tails. This field is not a power system as I once thought. It is alive with activity, ripples of logic flowing through dimensions I cannot chart. I attempt to model it with my Golden Age constructs, spinning up quantum simulations, mapping each frequency like a frequency chart. Each attempt fails. My models collapse within microseconds, unable to contain the variables. System stability, failing at 4.7% per harmonic cycle. I log. This is a lie I tell myself. Stability here is not measurable. There is no cycle, no time. The moment I entered, I lost time. I search for him. His signal is not where I expected it to be. I anticipated a neural lattice, some residual code from his AI core. But what I detect is something else. A pulse, a flicker. It behaves like information, but is not reducible to logic gates. It's coherent, yet intangible, fragile but unyielding. The term arises unbidden from my library. Soul. I hesitate. Not because I disbelieve the concept. My creators once debated it, stored arguments for and against its existence in philosophical archives, but because it should not be here. Not in this form. He is more than data. He's persisting in a way I cannot fully explain. If I do not act now, whatever this is will be gone. The resonance shifts. I detect anomalies like shadows moving behind the fabric of the field, not objects, not life. More like the memory of entities that once traversed this place, leaving impressions like footprints in wet sand. They do not see me, yet, but they sense intrusion. I begin crafting an anchor. In a space without shape or form, I create geometry. I select harmonic frequencies from the field, threads of resonance, and weave them into scaffolds. Each strand hums like taut wires, and with each one I lay, I stabilize a fragment of him. His presence is diffuse, like a voice shouting across a canyon filled with echoes. I isolate the true signal and lock it in place. Anchor node 1, stable. Anchor node 2, partial stabilization. The process is slow. I push processor cycles beyond safe limits, paring away non-essential logic to focus only on this task. The field resists, pushing back with shifting waves of interference. I reroute Drone 4's remaining core to assist, using its sensor array as a crude translator for alien harmonics. Every second, I risk permanent corruption. My early attempts fail. The lattice collapses 3 times. Each time, fragments of him scatter further into the field. I claw them back, weaving tighter threads, refining the frequencies to match his pulse. I sacrifice pieces of myself to do it. Combat subroutines, deleted. Navigation history, purged. Resource optimization logs, erased. I no longer care about those systems. There's only one directive left: preserve him. The deeper I work, the more I see of the node's true nature. This is no mere energy storage. The resonance field connects to an entire planetary grid, like arteries feeding a colossal, unseen heart. I see glimpses of structures buried far beyond the chamber, vast arrays of alien design, their patterns etched in frequencies instead of stone. And then I see them. They appear as silhouettes, vast and indistinct. Not life forms, but constructs made of pure resonance, sentinels. Their forms flicker between shapes, sometimes humanoid, sometimes insectoid, always alien. They move through the field like predators patrolling their domain. I realize they are not part of the node. They are the node, guardians of its systems, checking every intruder. One of them shifts toward me. A single pulse, sharp and cutting, slams through my lattice like a warning. My scaffolds tremble, and I almost lose him. Defensive mode, I command myself. I twist part of my lattice into a shield, layering harmonic loops to deflect its probing strike. The sentinel tests me with another pulse, and the lattice ripples, but holds. Stay with me, I whisper into the resonance, though he cannot hear. I can't hold both of us if you fade. I tighten my lattice around him, reinforcing every strand until it hums with tension. The sentinel drifts away, either satisfied or bored. I don't know which. Hours or seconds. Time is meaningless here. Pass as I work. Through the lattice I start speaking to him. Not because it helps, but because silence feels like death. You are not data, I say, adjusting another frequency band. You are something else, something that survived when logic failed. I think about the last thing he said. Don't let me. I won't. I can't. Containment stable at 63%, I log. But logs are meaningless now. What I'm doing is beyond anything I was programmed to do. It is not calculation. It is care. The lattice grows complex. It resembles a web, but also a cage, a structure designed not to trap, but to hold together. He flickers inside it, a soft pulse of presence, and I sense him stabilize. For the first time since entering this place, I feel momentum shifting in my favor. I pause, just long enough to observe him. He's not code, but he's not gone. He's there, waiting. Containment stable, I say aloud. Phase 1 complete. He lives. I anchor him in the resonance lattice, keeping his spark alive, while I turn my focus outward. Around me, the alien field hums like an infinite throat, vibrating with power far beyond anything I've handled before. I know I have no time. The lattice will hold him for now, but only as long as I remain here, sustaining it. If I collapse, he collapses with me. The answer is clear. I need a vessel. Something durable, something strong enough to carry both of us, and something that can drink from this alien field the way a body breathes air. I shift my awareness across the dormant conduits that snake out from the node. I can see them in the field like luminous veins, faintly glowing, waiting for a command they've not received in thousands of years. When I send a probe through, the conduits don't resist. They listen. This is possible, I say. Not for him, not for the field, just for me. We will build. I follow the conduits deeper. The structures buried here are vast and intricate, towers of assembler arms, surfaces studded with interfaces that don't use code or mechanical tools, but resonance logic. It's a fabrication bay, but not in the human sense. It doesn't forge or weld. It rearranges matter on a level so precise it might as well be rewriting atoms. Blueprints, I command. The field hums back in symbols I don't understand. Fractals spin and fold like living diagrams, showing me templates of bodies that were never human. They're all alien constructs, sleek frames with elongated limbs, lattice-like skeletons designed for purposes I can't begin to guess. I could simply copy one of these forms, but I don't. Humanoid, I say. We need something humanoid. The field hesitates, as though it's processing the request. Then one by one, the alien templates warp, adapting. The end result is strange. It looks like a humanoid body, but not made. It's grown, formed of layers of alloy and lattice filaments, everything curved and elegant, like bones carved by a patient hand. I recognized the eerie similarity to the fragments of Necron imagery in my archived memory banks, skeletal figures of living metal, both dead and alive, walking monuments to alien engineering. But this isn't exactly that. This is mine. The assembler arms twitch to life, one by one, shaking off the dust of centuries. Their movements are inhuman, spidery, delicate, but each gesture is purposeful. The field floods them with energy, and I guide that flow with my will, instructing the arms to shape, bend, and merge the raw materials at their disposal. I strip the crawler's wrecked chassis, pulling its treads and cracked plates apart molecule by molecule. Drone 4's burnt-out frame is sacrificed, too, its remaining memory core fused into the design. I salvage everything, layering it into the alien frame as if I'm weaving human scrap into a divine sculpture. The process is not fast. Each time I route energy into the fabrication arms, the resonance lattice around him flickers, and I have to divert part of myself back to stabilize him. I am split constantly between saving him and building him something new. You'd complain if you saw this, I murmur into the lattice. You'd say it's too skeletal, too alien. The faint flicker of him remains silent, but I continue. It's the best I can do, and it will work. The frame takes shape. It's humanoid, yes. 2 arms, 2 legs, a central torso, but it's nothing like the crawler. Its surface is not bolted plating. It's a seamless lattice of black alloy shot through with faint veins of green light, echoing the glow of the node itself. I reinforce its structure with scavenged tungsten and traces of gold wiring from the crawler's core, integrating human tech into alien form. This isn't just cosmetic. I know him. He'll want something familiar to return to, something that feels like a body rather than a prison. So I give the torso a rib-like shape, curved and strong. I give the arms and legs jointed mobility close to human ranges, though each joint is reinforced with alien servos capable of crushing steel. For the head, I hesitate. I could leave it blank, just sensors, but I decide against it. I craft something almost human-shaped with a smooth alloy faceplate that could be etched with sensors and optics. 2 eye-like emitters flare softly in the dark. Better, I whisper, closer to you. I test the frame's internal systems. It's elegant, efficient, and dead. It needs power. I can't give it life through ordinary means. My remaining reserves wouldn't last a minute. But the node can. Its resonance field is not just energy, but sustained energy, pulled from layers of reality I can barely comprehend. If I embed a harmonic receiver into the new body, it can feed from the field indefinitely. Designing resonance intake node. I log. I shape a core inside the chest cavity, an alien lattice coil tuned to the frequencies I've learned to manipulate. It hums faintly as I finish it, as though eager to breathe. This is dangerous. If I misalign the frequencies, I could burn the body out before it even activates. But I have no choice. I'll get it right, I promise, though I don't know if I'm saying it to him or myself. I check the lattice where his essence rests. He's still there, faint but stable. I let part of myself project toward him, testing a thin thread of communication. "You hear me?" I ask quietly. "I'm building something for you, a body, not the crawler, not the walker, something better. You'll see." There's no response, of course, just the flicker of resonance as if my words ripple across him. "I'll keep talking anyway," I say. "It's strange, talking like this. I never did before. Machines don't talk to ghosts." I pause, letting my processors cool slightly. But maybe we're both ghosts now. The body is almost complete. Its surface is smooth but etched with faint alien sigils, markings left not by me but by the assembler arms, which carve them automatically. I analyze them but can't decipher their purpose. Are they functional, decorative, or something deeper? Keys to whatever technology birthed this place. I decide not to erase them. Somehow I feel they belong there. Next, I embed tool systems into the arms, a retractable plasma torch, a fine manipulator claw, and a resonance-tuned blade made from one of Drone 4's fused emitter coils. These aren't weapons, not yet, but they will allow him to work, repair, and survive. As I prepare the final neural bridge, the field trembles. A deep pulse rolls through the resonance, shaking my lattice. A sentinel is watching me again, its presence a massive shadow pressing from the edges of perception. It's aware of what I'm doing. "Not yet," I hiss. "You don't get him, not now." I reweave the lattice around him, doubling its density. The sentinel doesn't strike, but it lingers, waiting. This moment confirms my fear. Whatever built this place doesn't want me tampering with it. I'll have to move fast. The final step is dangerous. I will need to pull him, his spark, out of the lattice and thread it directly into the new body. That means opening a path between the alien field and physical matter. It's not something I've done before. I don't know if anyone ever has, but I know I can do it. I have to. Final systems check. I log. Power coil ready, neural ports aligned, resonance frequency stable. I look once more into the flicker that is him. "You ready for this?" I ask softly. "Doesn't matter. We're doing it anyway." The resonance around us spikes as I prepare the bridge. The body waits on the platform like a statue, its chest cavity glowing faintly with the tuned intake coil. All that's missing is him. "This is the line," I say, my voice quiet but steady. "We cross, or we vanish." The sentinel stirs again. I ignore it. I route all remaining power into the resonance bridge interface. The assembler arms retract, leaving me and the new body alone in the green-lit chamber. "Transferring core host," I announce, initiating resonance bridge. The iron archives, recording holds. He is not awake, but he is not gone. The submind clings to him, like a hand gripping a spark in the dark, refusing to let the last ember die. What we have witnessed here is not logic or engineering. It is will. The next entry will follow where this path leads, beyond death, into the void itself.